Okay, so we haven't heard too much about Jon Gruden lately as he's filed a lawsuit against the NFL, but recently the former Raiders coach got a pretty big win, if you want to call it, in that the Clark County judge denied the NFL's motion to dismiss the lawsuit or private arbitration, meaning the lawsuit is going to court and Gruden has a very compelling case here. So late last year in 2021, the New York Times and Washington Post released an expose on a league investigation into the Washington Commanders' workplace misconduct and uncovered emails Gruden sent to then Washington GM Bruce Allen that was full of slurs directed at NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and a few others. These emails were from 2011 when Gruden was working for ESPN and when the world as we know it was way different. And I'm not making excuses for the coach, but shit was different back then, and if you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, ignoring what Jon Gruden said, he still has rights as a citizen no matter how unpopular that thought may be, but because of a few 100,000 emails that were uncovered during the investigation, 6 of Gruden's emails were leaked to the Washington Post and New York Times. And Jon's lawsuit against the league office is that they interfered with his business relationship with the Raiders by leaking these emails. And as mentioned, some of these were labeled racist, homophobic, and misogynistic. That being said, one former player who played under Jon Gruden and won a Super Bowl with him is Hall of Fame defensive tackle Warren Sapp. Now Warren isn't everybody's cup of tea, but personally, I enjoy listening to this guy speak. Anyways, here's a clip of him on Vlad TV talking about some of the allegations against his former coach and his ongoing lawsuit with the league.
Emails were sent where he used racist, misogynistic, and homophobic slurs.
Wait. Where's the racist term?
The racist term. Okay, hold on a
please.
second. Gruden used a racist stereotype to describe NFLPA Executive Director DeMaurice Smith, saying DeMaurice Smith has lips the size of Michelin tires.
That's racist? If he said, when I walk in my locker room, it looks like I got a bunch of DeMaurice Smiths in there by the mouth, that would be a racial trope. But to say DeMaurice Smith got big lips, yeah, DeMaurice Smith got big lips, just like Barack Obama got big ears. We've been calling Big Lip Johnny for the last 40 years. I bet this is the first time in DeMaurice Smith's life somebody called him big lips, he said it was racist.
Well, he also called Roger Goodell a faggot.
That's not racist.
And football pussy.
That's not racist.
It's homophobic.
I asked a question. I said, what's the racist statement? The rest of that is way out of line, across the board. But you're not going to call my head coach a racist. I sat in front of him for 2 years, and I'm a child of the South. I was raised in Florida. There's no way a fire-breathing racist would be in front of me or on my speed dial, and we haven't had a real discussion about your tendencies to not see the black man on your level. There's no way Jon Gruden's that. I'll bet my life on it. That's the first time DeMaurice Smith said somebody called him big lips and it was racist.
Okay, so you feel the whole thing is overblown?
No, just not racist. Just don't put that tag on him. Come on. But we all know people that talk like that. He was talking to 2 billionaires and a dude more privileged than the 2 billionaires in Bruce Allen. That's George Allen's son. Hip, hip, hooray. So, you notice like I do, Vlad, when you have gathered 650,000 emails and only 6 of them get released, the first thing your lawyer asks for is discovery. Once I ask for discovery, it's over at that point. I mean, you remember Robert Griffin Jr. said that he was coming out with I got sexually harassed book, and all of a sudden the book went away and he was on every major college football game and every damn preview show we can find. Robert Griffin Jr. was everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? He knows how to tell us about a quarterback. He couldn't play it, let alone sit up in a box for 3 hours and listen to his ass. Come on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think is ultimately going to happen in this case? Do you think they're just going to settle with him?
Oh, they're going to
go
roll
to court?
They're absolutely going to roll over. They have to. This is the worst thing they could possibly imagine. Can you imagine what those emails say? Because we only saw what Gruden sent. Where the chain of replies? Because if I'm sitting here cussing you out, Vlad, and I'm on the phone with that brother over there and we cussing you out, somebody eventually going to say something back, right? Come on. Where's the change? Where's the replies? Where's the back and forth? We just saw 6 emails.
Yeah.
And then they tried to break down Adam Schefter. That's, yeah, nice try.
You know, I vividly recall the news of RG3 right after the Times and Post dropped their story that he said he was going to release a tell-all book about what really happened in Washington. And yeah, Sapp is kind of right. All of a sudden, we then begin to see RG3 everywhere on ESPN College Game Day, and it really makes you wonder. Warren is also on the money about the fact that how many heads would roll via the email thread with Gruden. If Jon was using homophobic or misogynistic words with Bruce Allen and others, he obviously was very comfortable using those words because those recipients probably use those very same words themselves and have their names associated with those words in some of those other 600,000 emails. So imagine how many people from 2011 would get cancelled if the investigation showed the public the chain of emails from that thread. Think to yourself, would you be comfortable if all your 2011 emails got exposed? And lastly, touching on what Sapp said about his coach not being a racist. I agree with Sapp, and this is a guy who grew up in the South and has seen everything. He even suggests that he and Gruden are still in communication to this day, that his coach is on his speed dial, so to speak. Listen, Jon Gruden grew up in a different era, and we're basing shit that he said from 2011 and judging him for it today. He wasn't even working as a head coach or in the league, he was at ESPN. So this cancel culture nonsense is such BS to lay everything from the past on him in 2021. I'm not saying what he said was okay, but it's pretty apparent that someone had it in for Gruden and did him dirty by exposing only his shit. Anyways, guys, be sure to like and subscribe as I will continue to bring you NFL news and stories on this channel.